Monday Night Football, Underdog Fantasy Pick'em. Let's get after it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Craig Ben, aka Cash Cake, back with an Underdog Fantasy Pick'em video. I got 3 plays for you here. We're going to try to be a little unique with these plays. One of the things I love about Underdog is just the plethora of options that they do give you when choosing these. So I'm going to try to dive in to some unique plays that I do like, 3 unique plays, and we'll dive into them and talk about them. And if you don't have that Underdog account, you want to join along, use that promo code CashCake and get yourself a free pick and up to $1,000 in bonus cash. It is that easy. I'll put the link in the description below so you can access it. And also, if you're a first-time depositor on Underdog, you are eligible for a free month of our Daily Edge Sports premium package, which includes the tools, picks, and everything that we have to offer. It's a great value. So you get 2 for 1 here. So join along. And with that, let's get after it. All right. Underdog Fantasy Pick'em is up on the board. They got a mobile app as well you can download. And like I said, I'm going to talk about 3 plays that are just kind of unique in this situation, and then we'll dive into, let's talk about the one play I think you can match that I just absolutely love first. But get that out of the way. Devonta Smith, no AJ Brown here. I love this play. I've talked about it. If you were a Daily Edge Sports subscriber early, I dropped this on Wednesday or Thursday at 4.5. So you would have got it there. AJ Brown just icing on the cake, pushed it to 5.5. It's only 0.86x, but it's one of my favorite plays on the board here. Again, him working out of the slot, he's just going to continue to get the ball more. And I just feel like this is way too low. Had 8 targets last week. We should see 10 plus here for him. 5.5 just seems like almost a give me for Devonta Smith. Now let's dive into the plays that I think are pretty unique in this situation, where I think we can, look at taking these unique plays that you don't have. So Bijan Robinson, you're going to hear a lot of people talk about receptions, rushing yards, reception yards. I think this is a unique one to take, honestly. 5 rushing and reception first downs. And if we kind of look at this, last week he had a total of 8 of these against Pittsburgh. And I think is because they're using him correctly, and they're going to continue to use him correctly. Get him the ball in space. He's going to get you first downs. Rush the ball. He's going to get you first downs. He had 8 last week, and I think we're only going to see more. I think they're still pulling in 2023 data where he wasn't used correctly, and we're going to see more effort to get Bijan the ball. And you get him in space, man, you could get 3 or 4 first downs just alone on this, let alone rushing. So one of my favorite plays here for Underdog is this 5 rushing and reception first downs for him. Next one we're going to go to here, we're going to head over to Darnell Mooney. This is one where I'm going to go lower than 2.5 rushing and reception touchdowns. And this is a spot where he only had 1 last week, only had 3 targets. So I think it's a spot where this is just too high. Mooney's on the outside, should see Mitchell and Slay. London's going to see Slay as well. McLeod was getting a lot of volume. He's in the slot against Maddox with the best matchup on the board there. On the wide receiver side of it. I still think they're going to push the ball and get it to London a ton here. So rushing reception downs, only had 3 targets, and it's a spot where, I think he's more of the downfield threat. He's going to have to hit a couple of those to get first downs. And so you're kind of banking on him to probably get 2 or 3 big catches down the field. And I'm just not really to bank on that. I'm going to go lower than 2.5 rushing and reception first downs. And then the last one we'll look at here is free safety Jesse Bates. For this defense, he's one of he's 23rd out of 67 free safeties or safeties in the NFL, ranked for PPF with a 68.4 grade. And I like to higher than 4.5 tackles. If we look at what he did for week one against Pittsburgh, he had 6. And then last year, very active. If we look at his last 10 games, he cleared this in 8 of those 10 games, with missing it in Indy and New Orleans, where he only saw 4 each there. So like this 4.5 higher than solo tackles. Don't really want to assist. If we look at assist, he only cleared us in 3 of the 10 games for the 2.5, and that's why you're seeing that 0.8x multiplier being a little low here. So yeah, it's a spot where, if we kind of look at, Bates with the 4.5 tackles, that's a spot that I do like. And so again, these are the unique plays that Underdog will kind of give you. And one of the things I love about them is just kind of, seeing the things that are a little bit more unique. Like here, Drake London, 7.5 targets. I kind of like that. I know those receptions are 4.5. I did not see a ton of targets last week, right? You only saw 3 targets. Again, alpha wide receiver. I think that Kirk Cousins is going to make a strong effort to get him the ball. I mentioned this in another video with St. Brown last week. We know he's a complete alpha on that team, but they made an effort to get him the ball with Williams really getting all the catches week 1. And maybe we see something with Drake London here, pushing him the ball, trying to get him the ball. So maybe the 8 targets is a way you kind of want to take advantage of that. But, it's really one of the things I like about Underdog are these just more unique with the rushing and reception first downs. They just kind of set it apart compared to other sites that are out there. And that's where we're kind of leaning on, taking advantages. Like I said, I talked about Bijan here with that rushing and reception first downs. I still like him, the 101 rushing receptions if you wanted to go that route. Smith, I talked about him. I like Dallas Goedert here. It's at 4.5. If you want to take a shot at this, I kind of liked it better at 4. We're able to get it at 4 at one of the other places, but at 4.5, not sure I love it. I do think he's going to be more involved than, we saw it with AJ Brown out. He should definitely be more involved here. So I don't mind if you want to take a shot at the 4.5 receptions. It is a spicy pepper here if you want to take advantage there. And then maybe it's just a spot where, we see just more Barkley, right? I mean, Barkley looked amazing with that offensive line, and just absolutely crushed week 1 down there in Brazil. So I love his reception yards at 17.5. He only got 2 targets, but caught both balls last week and went over this reception yards. But I think they could utilize him a little bit more in space that way. Maybe we see just him pounding the ball more at 17.5 rushing attempts. I think there's a lot of ways you can go with Saquon Barkley and that offensive line, right? So if we want to dive real quick before we head on out, I noticed that 5.5 rushing reception touchdowns for Barkley as well. And again, I mean, they utilized him great last week. And let's kind of look what he did last week in terms of those first downs. Last week he had total of 7, right? So that 5 might be a little light too for Barkley, and maybe you want to make a unique one where you put both Bijan Robinson at 5 higher and Barkley higher. Again, lots of ways to go here, and one of the reasons I love Underdog Fantasy Pick'em products. So with that, appreciate you guys. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Hopefully those plays and analysis, help you put a little coin in your pocket. I do my best to try to explain why I like a play, and it's up to you if you want to play it, fade it, and let's get after it. So with that, enjoy your Monday. Like always, I'll see you on the flip side. Deuces.